Hi friends, just want to share with you how I fixed my water heater issue on my trailer, motorhome, RV. When I purchased it, the guy told me he had put a shut-off valve to bypass the water heater. So I kept reaching back here down to this bottom one. Let's see if I can get a good angle on it. Down here, there's a little valve, you can see it. And I would flip it, and then I would still have water in the water heater, so I still continued to have to drain it, and I had problems with the drain, outside drain. I had to replace it completely a couple of times, and it's kind of hard to get to. So I was like, what is the problem? So I purchased another three-way valve, bypass valve, and thought that, and the guy's like, well, you need two of them. And so I thought this one wasn't correct, that the guy I bought it from just put one on the bottom, but come to find out it's on the back side. And I couldn't see it at all. I couldn't tell it was there. So I started removing this one to put in a second one and realized that the one in there was fine and there was nothing wrong with either of the ones that I had. I just didn't know I had to shut them both off. So in case I sell it or somebody else is doing it, I wrote on the box surrounding the water heater. But when I was pulling this one off and twisting it off with a pipe wrench, that water line to the hot water got kinked. Or it's actually from the hot water heater to the sinks and tub and everything. So it's clamped on the floor down there, and you can see it kind of like with a plastic clamp. So I can't bend it to get it to this, and it was coming straight out of the pipe at the time. So that pipe was, it's really kind of a hard place to do it. I'm in the bottom bunk. So this gray pipe was coming straight out of here. So it was going to kink no matter what I did. And so when I went to the trailer repair place, I said, is there any way I don't want to have to splice? They were going to give me just a splice one. And I said, well, is there one that is at a 90-degree angle so that I don't have to unclamp it from the floor down there and try and get it on the end? It will be very difficult without kinking the pipe. And he goes, oh yeah, we have those in both 3/8 inch and 1/2 inch. So I should have gotten both of them at the time, but I got the 1/2 inch because this pipe right here is a 1/2 threaded. But so what I needed instead of a 1/2 to a 1/2 is I needed a 1/2 to a 3/8. And on that gray pipe, they do have a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and 3/8 inch. But what I found is my dad had this exact same problem, and so I told him about these little clamps. And what they are is you push the pipe in and you pull kind of back hard and it snaps. Right? See that? You can see that little black piece right there. That black piece snaps out. I wish I could show you a little bit better, but there's a plastic piece that snaps out. So all you have to do is push the pipe in, the gray pipe or the water line or whatever it is, if it's a hard plastic pipe. And I use this on my refrigerator ice maker as well. You just push it in and filter on the filter. So you push the pipe in and then you just kind of pull it hard and it snaps this little black piece. I mean, they don't have to be black, but this one is black, and it pulls it out, and then you have to make sure that it's locked into place. So if you just push and pull, then it will leak from that joint. You have to push it in all the way, really far, all the way, and then pull it back kind of hard and it will snap into place. Now, if I ever need to remove that pipe, all I have to do is push kind of hard, snap that black piece back into the fitting, and then I can pull the pipe out with no problem. And it's really a nice answer. And then this one was threaded and a 90, so I didn't have to worry about that. So I wanted to share that because my dad was worrying about how to splice his water line as well. Literally right after we went camping, we all had kind of water issues, and he was able to just get one as well. So my two brothers, they're like, oh yeah, like a SharkBite. So there is a brand called SharkBite, but it's not specifically made for trailers. I think it's just in general. But the brand that the trailer actual RV place gave me was this AquaLock. So I got a 1/2 inch thread to a 3/8 inch compression. So you can see and they have it in 1/2 to 1/2, and they have it not on a swivel. So one was a swivel, and one was the compression. So they have these in all different types. So if you just need to splice straight to straight, which is what my dad did, he just needed a 3/8 to a 3/8 both compression, and just push them in and then pull them out, and it's such a fast way to do it. But there is a brand called SharkBite that, and I think those also are, some of them are brass. So with the RV, most of the lines are plastic, and I shut the water off and I drain it all. But when I was putting the antifreeze in, it was filling up the whole hot water heater, and it was taking gallons and gallons. So this bypass helps you not have to fill up your hot water heater when you are wanting to winterize your system. So you can put those bypass, you can buy the kit. It has that 1/2-inch flexible tubing to bypass the water heater from the intake at the bottom to the out at the top. And then you just, if you're going to use the water heater, which I never do, we go camping once. We haven't used a trailer for camping in 5 years. We usually go to more of a place with hookups. And so I don't need to use the hot water heater. We use the showers at the campground. So we don't really ever use a hot water heater. So for me, it's fine to just have this bypass on there. But it saves you, I mean, it costs quite a bit to put it in. So it would depend on how big your water heater is and how much, how many years you're going to put antifreeze in it, because it costs $25 or more for the parts, unless you can find them cheap somewhere online. But for me, I just ended up buying that one bottom valve, but it still was kind of expensive. So it's up to you, but it keeps the water out and the rust out of your water heater as well. And so that's one way to do it, since I don't use it at all. And then on the I wanted to do another little video snippet. I'm just going to put them all together on the blinds. So over here I've got these blackout blinds, and mine had burnt a hole in them. Literally there was a hole burning from the sun. So I went and I purchased a new blind for, it was let me try and get it to go. There we go. So I went and bought a super long one at a thrift store. They had a bunch of new blinds, and I have also, whoops, I need to put some tape on that. They also have clearance at Walmart sometimes on these, but the sizes, I didn't realize. I'm just going to let you know that you can actually cut. I can't get my hand in there with this. I've got the bottom bunk in my way, so I'm struggling. Shoot. Anyway, you can purchase, let me see if I can do it this way. There you go. So you can purchase this, you want the blackout blind, and they have 3 different kinds, but I didn't know you can cut this down. So I bought one that was like 78 inches wide, and they just pop off the little cap on the end, and they cut it down at like Home Depot or somewhere for you. Or you could try and do it yourself, but I think it's easier because they have the machine that will cut through it and hold it still, so you don't go crooked on the cut. So I got this. It was brand new, clearanced, and somebody donated it to a secondhand store. But I have bought 3 or 4 of these at Walmart in the past. So you can buy any size and have them cut down. This one was $10, and at Home Depot they were $50 for these room darkening. I mean, you can see it's darkening it pretty well. So gosh, I can't do it without this thing here. With this thing here. Anyway, so I wanted to share that. You can get those blinds for pretty cheap at secondhand stores, or maybe on Facebook if somebody's getting rid of some. So that was easy. And then the last thing I wanted to share is about this. I have changed out twice, and it's really in a bad spot. It's open right now, so it's wet and it's been draining. So I'm just going to close it. But I replaced this once years ago, and it was so rusted in there I couldn't get it out. So what I had to do is take a Dremel grinder bit and go right in the center and grind the threads out, and carefully to not ruin the threads on this part, just through this part. And if you do it carefully, you can get the brass to collapse and then pull it out with pliers, and don't ruin the threads that you're going to put it in. If there is no other way for you to get that out, that was one way that you could get it out. That's how I've done it in the past, not only with trailer threads, but other ones as well that I've had to get out, like sprinkling lines. And on my actually kitchen faucet, I had to use a Dremel to get the inside one out. It had rusted and calcified on. So that's also one way. And if you have a trailer that has this really bad area to try and get to, I recommend you don't buy the kind that actually has this. I was trying to replace it again, and I bought one that had that, and I couldn't get to tighten it in, and it broke the brand new $10 part trying to get it in. So what I ended up doing is I was doing it after hours, and so what I did was I took I have a package of just different sized washers, and I ended up just replacing the washer on this other one and putting it back in, and it works great. So just think about if you're in a place where you don't have access to a new part, or you don't have the money for a new part, if you can get it out, you can just replace the washer and then put it back in. And this kind, if you have a trailer that's hard to get to, don't get the twisty kind, get this kind, because you can put a ratchet on. This is just smaller, and you can put the ratchet on and get it out more easily than if you have one that's a twisty kind. So I suggest you don't buy the kind with this little handle on it if you have it in a spot like this where you just don't have enough room to do much of anything. And then I just put an extender on the ratchet and was able to get it out very easily and quickly. So you just get the right size ratchet socket, and then you put an extender on, and then I could, from out here, I could get it on and off very quickly. If you try and get your hand in there, you're just not going to be able to do it. But you can't use the socket ratchet if you have that little handle one. So I went back to this one. But just know you can just replace the washer and it will work great. Mine was dripping from here, and by replacing that washer, it worked great. So those are just three tips from somebody who's got an old trailer. If you have any questions, I have taken pictures and I will put them on my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, and you can just type in the bottom search trailer repair or blind repair, direct blinds trailer, water lines trailer, and it will come up. So check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, and my YouTube channel, The Secret is Gratitude. There's almost 900 videos on there. If you like it, click thumbs up, check it out. I've got a lot of how-tos, fix-its, and all sorts of things. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a very blessed day.